In this part of the world, there is a sense of pride in what's called Minnesota and North Dakota nice. Not that we have to really work hard at it. It's a way of life that we generally do naturally.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Our willingness to help and respect others knows no limits, right? Not always. Others have us beat in at least one area.
Joplin, Missouri, May of 2011. The aftermath of an E5 tornado, one of the deadliest in U.S. history. More than 160 people killed. There were days when multiple funerals were held. For residents, that disaster accentuated one of the most time-honored funeral traditions, the procession, the slow journey for the deceased and mourners to the cemetery.
I typically pull over. Everyone else does.
In Joplin, most if not all drivers pull over for a funeral procession to show honor and respect at the passing of a loved one.
And I think of residents in Joplin, Missouri that grew up knowing what to do when they meet a funeral procession. It was just customary that you pull over.
We've never really had an issue with anybody interrupting it or not cooperating.
I'm almost holding my breath sometimes.
This is South University in Fargo.
Because I'm on such high alert.
On a busy weekday around noon. We hooked up with Hanson Runsvold Funeral Home. We organized a mock funeral procession with a hearse and a parade of followers, all driving slow with their lights on. You'd be hard-pressed not to notice. You come up alongside a funeral procession. What do?
Pull over.
You do pull over?
I pull over.
As we headed southward in the direction of Sunset Memorial Cemetery, drivers courteously stayed out of our way, but showed no intentions of slowing down and certainly weren't going to come to a stop.
I just saw one the other day, and I was one of the very few people that pulled over.
At each red light, the procession would stop and was cautious to resume when the light turned green.
And we just try and go nice and slow and easy so that we're not making it dangerous.
When the procession pulled out of the cemetery to head back north on University, we encountered a driver who either wasn't paying attention or whose time was simply more important than anyone else's, cutting right into the procession, then quickly moving into the left lane.
I don't know, I think we're so busy that we just don't, we're so consumed by what we're doing that and our schedule, we just go on to the next thing and hurry here and hurry there and don't take time to pay your respect.
To be fair to Fargo drivers, a police escort helps out quite a bit in Joplin, especially at intersections. Fargo police don't provide escorts. Moorhead and West Fargo police do. So we headed to West Fargo to see if a squad car in front of our procession would make a difference. And it did for the most part. People seemed more willing to pull over or slow down, if not out of respect for the dead, at least for the law. But in one case, with one driver pulled over, another didn't feel the same way and simply went around. What do you think about that?
It's kind of sad that we've gotten away from that. I mean, we should show some respect.
When comparing traffic laws around the country, most cities focus on the intersections, giving funeral processions the right of way. But on most roads, it's up to individual drivers to decide whether they should pull over or slow down.
Oh, did you get this lady?
John, what would you like to see drivers in Fargo do?
I would see when they'd see the lights, procession coming, they would pull over if they're in the path and just anything that would show the family respect.
The point of this story was not to be critical of Fargo Metro drivers. I myself have driven alongside a funeral procession without pulling over. But seeing firsthand how they do it in Joplin, that was an experience that made me ask if drivers here need to be a little more Minnesota or North Dakota nicer. I'd like to hear what you think. Join in on our conversation by going to our Facebook page. A lot of people already have commented.
21